Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is me, Miss Aisha Manzoor, and you are watching my channel Chemistry Solutions. So in this lesson, you people are going to learn about the displacement of metals. From the chapter metals, we are going to have a look on the displacement of metals. Okay. So in order to discuss about the displacement of metal from solution, all of you must know about the reactivity series of metals. So if we are going to discuss about the reactivity series, so the most reactive metal is present at the top of this series. So reactivity increases as we move up the series. So at the top of this series, more reactive metals are present. The more reactive metal can displace the ion from its solution. So this is the reactivity series of metals. So in the displacement of metal from solution, the more reactive metal will displace the ions of any less reactive metal in reactivity series from solution. So I would like to give you a good understanding about how you people are going to talk about the ions of the solution. If we have copper sulfate in aqueous form, so in aqueous form copper sulfate has copper ions. So this zinc metal will displace and take the position of this copper ion to form zinc sulfate. And copper metal will be deposited at the surface of the zinc metal. So this metal is going to displace this copper ion to form copper metal. So copper metal is of pink color, or the other color which is given, that is the red brown color. So zinc metal is higher up in the reactivity series, so it displaces the copper ion from its solution to form zinc sulfate and copper. But if you have a look on this experiment, we can see and have a look on these observations how we are going to describe this. The blue color of copper sulfate is there. So if we will observe that the gray color metal of zinc will be inserted in this solution. After putting this metal in this copper sulfate solution, after some time, this zinc metal will start to dissolve and red brown solid will start depositing at the surface of the zinc, zinc metal, copper metal will start depositing on it. But after some time, all of the zinc metal will start to dissolve and red brown solid will be deposited at the bottom of the surface of the beaker. And very clear observation is also there that the blue color of copper sulfate will turns to colorless. So this color will be fades away. So this is a way through which we have discussed about the displacement of metal from the solution. Here are some of the examples through which we can understand it much more, that how these metals can displace the metals from its salt solution. Here are some of the examples in which we can discuss about the reactivity series of the metals. So if we are going to have a look on this reactivity series, so we will be able to know that this magnesium metal can displace the zinc ion from its solution. So magnesium is higher up in the reactivity series, so it can displace the rest of the metals from its salt solutions. So now magnesium metal is going to displace the zinc ion from its salt solution to form zinc metal, which is of gray colored metal deposited at the bottom of the beaker, and magnesium sulfate, aqueous magnesium sulfate will be formed, which is colorless. Magnesium again will react with blue solution copper sulfate to form copper, which is red brown or pink solid, to form magnesium sulfate, which is colorless. So the observation will, blue color will turn into colorless solution and red brown deposit will be seen at the bottom of the beaker. So the next, magnesium and lead nitrate will react. Yes, definitely they will react, because magnesium is higher up in the reactivity series. It can displace the lead ion from its aqueous solution. So always remember, in aqueous solution, metal ions are present which will be displaced by the metal. It will form metal solid and the colorless salt solution will form, that is magnesium nitrate. So magnesium will react with iron sulfate, that is of pale green color. Iron sulfate will turn to colorless solution and gray colored iron metal will deposit at the bottom of the beaker. So zinc is higher up in the reactivity series. It will displace lead nitrate to form lead and zinc nitrate, which is colorless solution will form. So these were the example for the displacement of metals, and now we are going to think about the reactivity of the metals with their oxides. Now we are going to discuss about the displacement of metals from metallic oxides by more reactive metals. So magnesium is higher up in the reactivity series. So this magnesium can displace copper from its compound, that is copper oxide. So metal oxide can be react with the more reactive metal, can displace this metal that is less reactive to form it copper, that is pink or red brown metal, and the resultant product will form, that is magnesium oxide. So aluminium can react with iron oxide to give us iron and aluminium oxide. Aluminium is more reactive element, so it can displace iron, which is less reactive, and iron is going to be free as metal. But this reaction is highly exothermic and a lot of heat is produced during this reaction. This reaction is going to be started with the fuse of magnesium. So thermite, this reaction is basically called as a thermite reaction, through which a lot of molten iron is obtained. So this molten iron can be used to weld the railway tracks. So mixture of aluminium and iron oxide is used in welding of railway tracks, where molten iron can be adjusted during this reaction. So molten iron will fix at this space, and it is going to give a very good welded condition of this railway line. So this is the end of displacement of reactions. Now we are going to do some of the reactions, some of the questions from the past papers, to get a better understanding of such kind of questions. So this is a past paper question from May-June 2012. Displacement reaction occurs when a metal reacts with the metal compound. The table shows the results of some displacement reactions. In each case, a sample of powdered metal is added to an aqueous metal sulfate. So how these reactions will take place, we can identify from their reactions which metal is more reactive and which one is the least reactive. So first of all, have a look on this copper in copper sulfate solution, in iron 2 sulfate solution, in magnesium sulfate, in aqueous nickel sulfate. There is no reaction. So copper is not going to give us any such kind of reaction with any metal. It means that it is least reactive metal. So copper is our least reactive metal. Again, have a look on iron. Iron is, it reacts with copper sulfate, okay. Reaction will take place with copper sulfate, with iron sulfate, no similar salt, no reaction. No reaction with magnesium sulfate. So it is going to react with two of the metal salt solutions. Magnesium reacts with, okay, magnesium reacts with copper sulfate. It can react with iron and it can react with nickel. So magnesium is more reactive. Copper is not going to react with any of the iron. Copper is not going to react with any of the metal ion. So copper is least reactive. Then nickel can react with only one salt solution. So after that, least reactive is our copper. Then least reactive is our nickel. Then iron can react with two of the salt solutions. So magnesium is our most reactive metal. So we can write here, after having a look of these experiments, we can identify which metal is more reactive and which one is the least reactive. Iron powder is added to aqueous copper 2 sulfate. So if we are going to add iron to FeSO4, which is pale green in color, iron powder is added to the aqueous copper sulfate. So copper sulfate is blue colored solution. If it is added in blue colored solution of copper sulfate, it is going to form iron sulfate, that is pale green, plus pink colored copper metal is left behind. So what would you observe? So what we are going to see, we can observe pink or red brown metal. Red brown metal we can observe. Blue color turns to pale green. Next question is, explain why, even though it is high up in the reactivity series, aluminium does not react with cold water. Because aluminium forms an oxide layer, protective oxide layer. It forms a protective oxide layer which cannot flakes away, which act as barrier, does not flake away. So it is not going to react with water, it is non-porous. So these are the questions which were based on the displacement reactions. So remember that the more the reactive metal, the more its reactivity, and it can easily be react with any ion present in the salt solution which is less reactive. So this is end of the lesson. So I hope so that you have learned it very well, even you learn a single word. So don't forget to subscribe my channel. Signing off, Miss Aisha Manzoor.